Hi there. Do you know debt is very deceptive? It looks harmless when it arrives at the doorstep of your house, but becomes caustic on departure. It always leaves a gaping hole behind for all to see. I welcome you to the Wise Master Builder broadcast. My name is Coach John Efe Tobo. I want to look at part 3 of this amazing and incredible message. From the feedbacks I have received from across the nations of the world, this message has really helped a lot of people. In case you haven't watched or listened to the part 1 or part 2 of this broadcast, please go back and avail yourself of the part 1 and part 2 of this message right here in this channel, in YouTube, and in this platform on Facebook. I want to read from the text that I read in the second part, which is taken from 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 5. But as one was felling a beam, the ass head fell into the water, and he cried and said, "Alas, master, for it was borrowed." Listen to me. When death visits you, it comes adorning a sweet-smelling perfume, but stench on the way out, leaving a distasteful experience behind. Death is simply an unwelcome visitor. Death is very deceptive. It looks harmless when it arrives at your doorstep of your house, but becomes caustic on departure. It always leaves a gaping hole behind for all to see in your life and in your house. Debt turns payday into doomsday because all your entire earnings has been pre-spent. Debt is a precursor for financial instability. A debtor can fulfill neither his obligations nor destiny because of the eroding impact of debt. Debt makes liars of good men. Study has shown that a substantial percentage, that is about 90% of debtors, fail to overcome their debt in the short or long run. Out of every 100 debtors, only 10 will overcome debt. Why is this so? Now listen, the most devastating implication of debt is it is ominous. The most devastating implication of debt is its ominous multiplication power. Every day that passes, debt assumes a new size. A simple amount of $100 could easily turn into $17,500 in 1 or 2 years, if not paid. No matter how you service a debt, it keeps multiplying. In this last piece of this message, in the second part of this message, we learn 2 other ways to break the stranglehold of debt. Number 1, we learn about debt forgiveness. And number 2, we learn about new business startup. I am concluding this wonderful message by highlighting 2 other unfailing strategies to overcoming the debt pattern. Number 5 on the list, which is number 1 in this third part, is overcome debt by learning. I want to use David's case study. In 1 Samuel chapter 22, verses 1 and 2, we saw the crop of people that were attracted into the life and ministry of David. They were distressed, they were debtors, and they were discontented men. However, a couple of chapters down the line, a period covering some few years, we notice a massive transformation in the stature of this man. In 2 Samuel chapter 23 verse 8, this is what the scriptures recorded concerning these distressed, discontented, and debt-ridden men. These be the names of the mighty men of David. How can you be elevated from the status of being distressed, head over heels in debt, and discontented into a mighty man? It takes learning the curriculum of David. Space will not permit me to discuss the full dynamics of this curriculum and program. But I can assure you that this program has the capacity for transforming a miserable debtor into a man or a woman flowing in abundance and surplus. The full details of this David's program is discussed extensively in my book, How to Overcome the Monster Called Debt. I feel this theme will be incomplete if I don't share with you the causes and effects of debt. When you know the devastating causes and effects of debt, you will do all within God's grace in your life to detest and denounce it in your life. When my wife and I entered into covenant with God in 2010 that we will never borrow money from anyone or institution, and we will never borrow money to anyone or institution for the rest of our lives, over the years, to the glory of God, as I speak to you, as you listen to this broadcast, right now in 2023, myself, my family, we hold no man or institution, no dime on earth. In the same vein, no man or institution owes us any dime. It is a covenant we struck with God. Every now and then, someone comes to us to borrow from us. We have always politely declined such requests because of our covenant with God. We would rather give that person whatever we can afford with no debt or strings attached than to keep God's people in bondage. On the flip side, we also cut another covenant with God based on Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. This covenant underpins the first covenant we cut with God. To balance the first covenant, we covenanted with God that He would supply all the finances we need to sponsor and execute any project He lays in our heart, or any project that we feel strong enough that has a place in our purpose or assignment. These covenants have never failed us. This latter covenant lived up to the word when we needed to execute our first business startup, Satis Breakfast, way back in 2011. I want to appreciate you for stopping by and to listening to this broadcast. Once again, I feel excited in my spirit because I want to hand over to you my best-selling books where I took these messages from. How to Overcome the Monster Called Debt, and 6 other of my best-selling books, making 7. In the next few days, I want to hand over these books that sells for a minimum of $10 to you, free of charge. All you need to do to access the 7 of these my best-selling books is to look at the description below this message in YouTube and above this video or message at Facebook. You will see 2 links. One leads to my ministry channel on TikTok, The Wise Master Builder. Right there, we have close interaction and coexistence. The second link will lead you to my mentorship platform, where I mentor people across the nations of the world. In these 2 platforms, you will have access to these books. Some of these books are posted in our ministry platform in the Wise Master Builder platform on Telegram. Then the rest you can find in my one-on-one platform, mentorship platform on Telegram. I want to appreciate you. Once again, my name is Coach John Efetobo. I counsel you strongly. Be fit spiritually, mentally, and physically. God bless you.